the voice of domestic workers. Now is the time for equality, time to recognize union equality representatives' work and time to reinstate migrant domestic workers' rights.
Union equality reps, so specialist union reps who are there for equality, and also migrant domestic workers' rights, two really important parts of equality. And so I'm really pleased as Unite's Assistant General Secretary for Equalities to say how much we support the campaign both for union equality reps' rights and for migrant domestic workers' rights. And both of those need the Labour Party to have policy that supports. We got the overseas domestic worker visa first in 1998, just after the new Labour government was elected.
I'm really delighted to be here today with you to introduce this phenomenal programme. A practical programme where trained women union activists recognise, respond and refer disclosures of violence and harassment in the workplace, whether that violence originates in the home or the workplace. It's about survivor support, but it's also about prevention and systems advocacy. So challenging the structures and the policies which reinforce women's inequality and lack of justice when violence and abuse is perpetrated against them.
Many employers who don't agree it, that we want to strengthen that. So Phil is here, who is one of our union equality reps, and we're also hoping to be joined, Phil is from the finance sector, and we're also hoping to be joined by Pat, who is a bus driver in London. And both of them have experience of the employer agreeing to union equality reps' rights. So to talk about that. But, and we will be addressed by Wendy from Voice of Domestic Workers about the experience of domestic workers in this country and why we need to support reinstatement, protection, development of those rights. And I think that COVID-19 has exposed huge inequalities that were hidden and underlying, and what we've been trying to do here, and we see union equality reps now as even more important because they're about tackling that, not just waiting till an issue arises, but starting now to say we know what the problems are, we don't need to find out what they are, but we need to do something about them, because we've got to prevent discrimination, prevent inequality and prevent unequality. Meeting. One is the role of union equality reps, the other, and the importance of strengthening that role, and the other is the important campaign that we've supported for many years now to ensure decency and fair rights for migrant domestic workers, and clearly bringing back what we won in 1998 in the overseas domestic worker visa that the Labour government introduced and has been dismantled and cut back since. But a specialist here to talk about it is Wendy Nova. Over to you.
Yeah, my name is Wendy, and I am a member of the Voice of Domestic Workers. I arrived in UK last 2018 with the South Korea family. I didn't know the terms and conditions here in the UK. I thought the overwork hours and no days off are normal here. So the family are very low temper, as well as the children, and all my step always on monitored. Even I went out to pick and to go and pick the children. And one day I teach the children the 5-year-old girl to ride a bicycle, and they gave me 50 pounds. That's only a money I have because my salary directly sent to the Philippines. That's only 1,500. It's equal to 350 a month. Pounds. 350 amount pounds per month. And that 50 pounds, I asked one British lady to send that for me. So she asked me, where is your passport so you can send your money in the Philippines? So I said my documents are all in my employer. So that time, she think that I am abused. So one day, the police approached me near in the school. So they interrogate me and ask me some question. I explain what the employers did to me, as well as the children, and they applied me to the national referral mechanism. That's the framework for that I am possible victim of the modern slavery and the human trafficking. So after a week, I received a positive, reasonable ground decision, and my employer they interrogate, separate us. So I don't know what she told to the police officer. So after that, I don't want my family that see me that I'm not okay here in the UK. So I'm just pretending that I am happy. So so that time, even though I am locked down in that employer, again my trauma came back because I received a negative conclusive. So I managed to have a lawyer, a lawyer because it's hard that since I have the right to work, but it's hard to get the lawyer because they said I can able to work than the people that have the right to work. So I managed to explain that my salary going to this and going to that. So luckily I found a solicitor. They appeal my right, but they appeal my rights and the home office. But since I don't have proper documents, I cannot take the salary. So I work 2 weeks for 250 pounds only. So I went back to Ate Marisa Begonia house again, and after a month, I worked to another elderly man. And during the pandemic, I received 450 pounds because they deducted my salary because my employer cannot withdraw money. So for 15 months, I am locked down, and I received a negative conclusive ground decision because they said you are not victim of the modern slavery because you are voluntary came here in the UK, as my employer said, because they show an evidence that I am happy and I voluntarily came to them, and they show a picture. But I said I just smile on the picture because I don't want my family, I don't want my family that see me that I'm not okay here in the UK. So I'm just pretending that I am happy. So so that time, even though I am locked down in that employer, again my trauma came back because I received a negative conclusive. So I managed to have a lawyer, a lawyer because it's hard that since I have the right to work, but it's hard to get the lawyer because they said I can able to work than the people that have the right to work. So I managed to explain that my salary going to this and going to that. So luckily I found a solicitor. They appeal my right, but they appeal my rights and the home office. And during the pandemic, the Voice of Domestic Workers gave me food because I cannot go out. My employer told me that if you go out, you cannot come back. So I don't want to be a burden for my family because in the Philippines they also have COVID, and then I don't want them suffer. So they cannot get money from me. I'm the breadwinner, and I'm the living uh, support for my family. So by that time, I don't want to have problem with my mental health. So I I downloaded the social media. I am very active to Facebook, to WhatsApp, or to campaign the graphics because the Voice of Domestic Workers turned the classes online, so I'm helping also the members to get onto Zoom, and all classes move into online. So every week I can see them, so at least I can share a story, we can share our story, we can share our problems, and we have the counseling that can remove our trauma. So we are very glad for the people who's helping the Voice of Domestic Workers, the funders, the supporters, and as well as the Union. We are very glad to have you. And I'm very active. I'm very active for that social media accounts. I do dancing TikTok. I share my life on YouTube. I sing, so at least I can remove my loneliness. Even Christmas, I just talk to my family during the phone. Even when my children asking me, "Mommy, where you come back?" like this. So I said I cannot come back as long as my papers is not okay, because if I go back, I cannot help you anymore. I cannot. So I cannot give you a better future. So and my papers are not okay. If I go back Philippines, I cannot come back to work again, or maybe I need to go somewhere. So the repetition of the abuse gonna happen to me again. So I don't want it to happen. So I managed to stay here in the UK. Right now I'm almost 4 years already in that city. I couldn't see my family just in the phone, but yeah, I'm very active on social media. That's why Marisa Begonia told me that I am the queen of the social media. Yeah, I become the queen of the social media. I'm helping them to do the campaign, to do the graphics because we cannot go outside to do rally, especially when we have the campaign for the rights, to the ratification of ILO C-189 and the reinstate of the rights of domestic workers, to renew the visa, to settlement, and for the British citizenship. We cannot advance, but in the social media, we can expose what we gonna say, so the government will hear our voices. So but right now I'm very happy right now because I already get my positive conclusive ground decision. At least I can have another year to work and another renew for another 1 year. But I'm looking forward that the government will hear our voices, so at least we can renew our visa and we can contribute to the community too. And we also want to have the domestic workers branch. Yeah. Yes. So we are looking forward for that because we really need domestic workers for runaway, because also always Marisa Begonia house is our place to hide. Yeah, always Marisa Begonia our place. So I know it's her private house, and we couldn't have the privacy for their family. I know their privacy. Actually, we have new runaway right now in her house, so it's the domestic workers are helping her to have new bed, new cabinet, so at least she is comfortable for that. But right now, I'm looking forward that we can have domestic workers branch, and at least we can, every event, every activities, we can move to that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. At the centre of the United Equalities campaign are our brilliant equality reps. I'm not just saying that because I happen to be one. All our equality reps are absolutely fantastic in what they do. They work alongside other union reps to promote equality and tackle discrimination. They are key to recruiting and organising and representing members from across all the equality strands, whether it be LGBT, women, disabled, BAM, whatever the equality strand, we've got reps to represent them. And in Unite we have a saying, it says equality is at the heart of the union. Now that's not just empty words. When the TNG, Transport General Workers Union, and Amicus merged many years ago, we ensured that equality was placed high on the agenda, and we incorporated the roles of our equality reps and the work of equality committees into the centre of our rulebook. Every Unite branch must have an elected equalities officer, or it is unable to operate. You cannot have a Unite branch if you don't have an equalities officer. When negotiating recognition agreement, our officers and reps must strive to ensure that equalities representatives are included to be recognised in all workplace agreements. And that's something that definitely happened in the finance sector, and I'm quite proud of that. In my own company, for example, we actually have had the rights and recognitions for our equality reps on par with all the other reps for at least the last 5 years. And this is very important because, as Diana mentioned earlier, equality reps have no legal rights within the legislation at the moment. They can't take time off to carry out their trade union duties. The trade union movement has been arguing for many years that equality reps should be given the same rights as every other union rep, such as the learning reps. This would give them the right to pay time off for training, which is vital. You can't do your job if you're not properly trained. And also to undertake their duties. They can actually go out and support our members when they need to.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm going to start off by explaining the role of the equality rep. The role of the equality rep is there to work alongside other reps in the union to help them, to help the steward if there's a problem. But I've been doing this now for a long time, Diana, and I recognize that if you don't get the support from your actual shop steward, if they're not saying to the management you are important as well, you're not gonna get it. So basically, what most of them do in the bus industry, because Unite said you need to have an equality rep, or once you are elected, you are there, but that's it. You haven't got no rights. Things when it comes up to equality issues, they don't involve you or anything like that. Now, unless you're gonna like me, because I've been doing it for so long, I know certain things they need to have me at least have me in the room, to let me hear what's going on. I am recognized by Arriva, but that's just in my company. Other people is not. So I will get my pay stand off. I attend the national meeting with the directors and things like that. But other part of the industry is not happening. Now, one of the things that I get them to do for us is the period poverty. So all the garages now and in their offices, they need to provide things like that. About 6 months ago, we had a diversity committee, which they now put me as a lead onto. But the thing I'm trying to say to you guys that you need to read your rule book and challenge your steward, because if they are not with you, the management not gonna see you as being an important part, and we need you to be an important part. Unite at the moment is trying to get us recognition, because I'm always banging on about this. Wherever I go, I am banging on. Right, the next thing I want to say is, as it stands now with Black Lives Matters and the COVID, and because we, BAEM, the work that we do, we are more in the front line. We as equality reps are more important. We're not there to challenge the stewards. We are there like a specialist, because we studied, we learn about that, we lived it. So if anybody have issues in certain difficulties, in certain like equality issues, they should see us more, that they can come and talk to us instead of going to a white male. We are more there for them. So if going forward we can do something for that with the Black Lives Matters, that we make them give us more rights to do certain things. To be honest with you, the stand down time is not important. I think what we need is just to get interaction with other reps, to get involved in what's going on, to raise our profile so that our employers can say they are important. Anything.
And representative from many different groups. But The reason why I wanted to speak, I just want to relate to this lady here and all the women here. As a mother of 2 children, and we all have to make journey at times, and I make the same journey that you make. It's a hard journey, but you get it in the end. Because I remember when I had to come to this country, all my family was in America and they were in Jamaica. My children were in boarding school and I had to leave to come to this country because I didn't want to go to America. So I empathize with women who make the journey here to better their life for their children. And as a single parent, my daughter wanted to be a lawyer, which is a lot of money as a single woman, plus she's a black child. So the decision was to come here to work to make sure that she gets to success and get to her dream. She's been a qualified lawyer. Believe me, light is at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
In the times of darkness, just think about what you're doing it for. What is the purpose? And the purpose is in doing. There were several Christmas I couldn't travel.
Yes.
There were several Easters I couldn't travel. We didn't have modern technology like now. All I could do was just make the phone call and hear their voice. Sometimes I'm scared to make the call. Because I can't tell them when I'm coming. Because I was also in university. So the reason why I'm saying this is disheartened. The system is not friendly in this country. When you're an immigrant or migrant, the system is not friendly. It is not there to be friendly. It's oppression. It is not easy because it's meant for you to give up. And the minute you succeed and push through, you will see and you will look back on your journey. So from a woman and a mother to you, don't give up. Even when it looks dark, just remember, you're doing it for your family. Many of us
Join our campaign. Share, like, comment and follow our page. The voice of domestic workers.